Today we're going to look at the Niche Zero, which is a conical burr grinder made by the company Niche. First I want to talk about some of the specifics in the grinding, what it can do, the quality, the speed, and then kind of talk about some of the other features of the product. So to begin with, the grinding, which is obviously the most important part of a grinder, it has 63 millimeter steel burrs and ranges everywhere from espresso, even Turkish fineness, all the way up to Chemex French press style. So it has the full range. It has a stepless dial, which is really nice. So it allows you to have an infinite number of stops, unlike some grinders that have certain clicks or stops that you can stop at, which can be an issue if you are trying to kind of dial in an espresso or any other brew and kind of one is too fine and one is too coarse. This kind of gives you infinite control to make really small adjustments based on the fineness of ground that you need. It is a little bit more geared towards espresso in kind of the dial and where you kind of come in here. Even at its coarser settings, I found it's definitely a little bit finer than other grinders, but it does allow you to kind of easily go past what they have at their max of 50 and kind of just keep going and rotate around again. There's different hacks on how to kind of do that and keep track of your numbers, whether it's like taping the backside or kind of stopping it and then starting again back at 10. So there's a lot of ways that you can handle that to get to kind of coarser settings, but it does allow you to easily kind of go past even what they set in their dial. A few other things, it has the promise of zero retention, which is why it has zero in its name. And I found that it does a pretty good job of that. I don't know if it's exactly zero retention, but in some of my testing, it was kind of 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 grams, not very much that was retained in every brew. And a lot of times it was zero. Now, some of that might be that it retained, just a little bit and then kind of pushed out what was there from a previous ground, but definitely very good when it comes to retention. It has that direct path, so there's not a lot of places for the coffee to get caught, which is great. A few other features that are really nice. One, it's extremely easy to calibrate. You can do it in just a few steps. It's extremely easy to clean. It comes with this tool that easily allows you to take it apart, pull out all the burrs. It comes with a brush that you can easily kind of clean things out. And so a process that should be done quite often with the grinder, but sometimes the kind of barrier to entry or the idea of kind of taking apart the grinder is a little bit overwhelming. Niche makes that as easy as possible to do with their grinder, which is great. A few other design features that I really like. It has this retractable cord, which is super nice, so you can easily kind of pull back in the cord, which makes it even nicer kind of sitting on your counter. It has this portafilter cup, which is 58 millimeters exactly, so it should fit on most portafilters, so you can just flip it over and not have to worry about kind of pouring it in and spilling grounds. It has, in newer versions, this Niche flow control disc that they've added in that helps with popcorning. So as you get towards the end of a dose, it doesn't kind of popcorn the beans as much. It kind of drives them into the burrs a little bit better, which is nice. It has really high quality materials. It's solid oak on the base and the legs. It's got an aluminum body. It's very kind of clearly well built and sturdy, compact. It comes in this black model and also white, which both look very attractive and nice and sleek. It also is quite fast and quiet when it grinds. So it's 72 decibels for the grinding, which obviously doesn't mean much in a number, but I will say it is very quiet. A lot of automated grinders I can't do when the family is sleeping. This one is quiet enough that I can, and no one kind of has woken up, and it's considerably more quiet than some of the other grinders that I've used. The other thing is the speed. So they say on their site it's 1.5 grams for espresso fineness, all the way up to like 2.1 grams a second for kind of coarser Chemex or French press coarseness. I found that to be pretty accurate. Most of the time where I'm in kind of like the V60 range for pour over, it's maybe closer to like 1.5, 1.6 or 7 grams a second. But even at the largest dose of 50 grams, that's really only like 30 45 seconds to kind of completely grind all that. I mean, that's a really large brew. So I've never really had an issue with the speed or noticed that that's been problematic. So I think the biggest kind of barrier with the product is the price. It costs 500 pounds or around $675. So it's definitely a premium consumer product. I will say if you can get over that price tag though, this can be your one at-home grinder. It really does a great job of consistently grinding everything from espresso to coarser Chemex cold brew, French press style brews, which many other grinders can't. Many other focus on either espresso or they focus on kind of pour over style brews and they can't do the other, at least not consistently. And I haven't found that to be the case with Anish. I've kind of done everything from espresso to Chemex and it does great. It has consistent grounds and it's easy to kind of dial between the two, which is great. So if you can get over the price tag, I think you'll be really happy with this product. I have really enjoyed using it. It's become my daily grinder that I use regardless of what brew method I'm doing. So if you have any questions or want to talk about the product, you can find me on Instagram or on the website, and I'm happy to continue the discussion there. Thanks.